Hello there. You've made it to part 4 of a 13-part guide series to Dark and Darker. Solo tips. Playing solo in Dark and Darker is often seen as a very difficult thing to do, or impossible by most players. I will agree it's much more difficult dealing with squads on a 1v3 basis when equal or better skill comes into play from your opponents. However, I suggest you play the room and then the players.
I misread that terribly.
Meaning, look for how many exits you have.
Suck my balls.
If there's ranged opponents, do you have pillars to use as cover for healing? Can you attack your enemies when they are distracted by other players or NPCs? Approaching the solo experience like this leads to better plays than just brute forcing 1v2ing and 1v3ing player squads. Learning to position yourself better in fights goes a long way, something I'll be covering in my combat videos. Part 5 of the guide series, How to Fight. The guides previous to this video have great tips for solo play. What I'll focus on here is getting a concept nailed into your head, and that is rising to the challenge. Like what?
That's why. That's why. You are witnessing a monster. You are witnessing the beginning, the origin stories of someone who is mastering this game. When to attack, when not to attack, when to isolate, when to begin the engagement in a 1v2 or 1v3 situation. Target acquisition, making sure you target the right people first. That's why. That's why when people are like, "Ah, bro, it's too hard. Solo's too hard." It's like, but you see how, like, to anyone who, because people are saying they struggle with the game in chat right now, and they're like, dude, how do I stop getting ganked as a solo, blah, blah, blah. Did you see how I didn't just jump straight in? Like, I watched from up there in the shadows, you know? I was just studying, like, who's doing what, who's what, blah, blah, blah. This game gives you tools and game mechanics that either intentionally or unintentionally give solos some advantages. The advantages? Well, playing stealthy is easier for solos. You don't have friends giving away your position or taking fights you are not prepared for. Got him!
It's much easier to think through strategy and plays in your head than having to communicate every single thing with your friends and teammates. You have more map loot to yourself and you don't have to share it with others. Believe it or not, fighting in a squad with bad communication can lead to silly deaths like this that you can take advantage of. What you're seeing here is someone getting caught off guard and panicking. People panic, and with there being friendly fire, it's usually the case that there is collateral damage when surprise attacks occur on squads. Make note that clerics sort of prioritize healing their teammates, so try and target them first. That's if you can, depending on their position in the fight. The greatest solo tip I can give is learn the tactics of the guerrilla fighters. The hit and run. Usually, as a solo, I isolate one player who is away from a group, surprise them, and kill them off guard, and then retreat into the shadows. If you want to loot their body, usually you're going to need to commit to a squad wipe. Generally, I let them pick up the teammate's soul in an attempt to revive their teammate, and then go for the duo kill when they are distracted with PvE or going for the resurrection. When you lean into this playstyle, you develop a confidence that compounds over time. So to anyone out there watching this who feels trepidation playing the game, I say take on the challenge, but adapt your playstyle instead of playing like you're in a squad. So overall, the best tips I can suggest for solos is using the hit and run tactic, and when you do 1v3, try and keep the distance between them all. Tickle them a little.
Go. And that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's go.
On the current build of the game on playtest 2, there's a few classes that are preferable to play solo. I'll explain my thoughts on those best solo classes in a video later in the series, part 9. Now, some of these solo tips seem pretty basic and straightforward, but you'd be surprised how many people out there that just don't click with it until someone explains these things. To confirm that, all you have to do is read a complaint thread on a Reddit or Twitter of a popular multiplayer game. Hope you enjoyed that. See you in the How to Fight video, and finger blast all the buttons.